Okay, right. So looking forward to being live so we can start this webinar. All right, so here we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are now live on YouTube. That is wonderful. All right, so welcome to this free webinar, Lead for Legacy, Be a Dream Boss for yourself and your dream team. So, as I said, we're going live absolutely whenever you have a question or a comment or a suggestion to make, please use the comments and ask your questions and make your suggestions. Don't wait until the end to ask any questions, right? So we don't want that. We want to make it as relevant for you as possible. So we have 1 hour to go. So for those of you who are going to stay with me until the end, I really have a super awesome surprise for you. I'm so excited about this. If you're not able to stick until the end, because I know you're busy, everybody is. So, and I know what that can look like. But definitely check the replay and get what you really need so that you can embed some of this stuff in your work. All right, so here we go. I wanted to start with introducing myself, right? Because, hey, you need to know who I am. So you need to know why I'm talking about this stuff. So my name is Roxana Radulescu, and I'm the Chief Game Changer and founder of All Personal. All Personal being a training, coaching, and consulting company, and actually the first Canadian game changing index partner. And I'm going to talk about that towards the end of the session. So again, know that it will be a bit later on. I'm also a chart e-learning solutions partner. So what that means is I design and I also deliver online courses. Emotional intelligence course, I love it, and I have it on this platform as well. So that is something else that I'm passionate about. I'm an online course designer and facilitator, and my background is 15 years in corporate learning and development in top legal consulting firms and teams. And then in 2017, I started my own business called All Personal, as I was saying. I am also proud to be a TEDx speaker, podcaster, and contributing author. So this is me in a nutshell. But hey, we're not here to talk about me today. So, but what we are here to talk about is this. We're going to have a look at top current issues that I'm getting from team managers and people managers, either that they manage teams in larger organizations or that they have their own business and they manage a smaller team. And they do go through pretty much the same issues. We're going to have a look at the top skills that bring you back in the driver's seat, the importance of self-care for high performance, and you're getting some self-care techniques as well. And we're going to have a look at how you can build, engage, and motivate your team for the long run. And again, if you're with me until the end, you're going to get the surprise. If not, just check the replay and then you'll see it anyway. But I do encourage you again, for those of you who watch this live, ask your questions and make your comments, because this is what we're doing this live for. So you get what you need in real time. Okay, so let's move on to see what the top current issues are. And I was saying, these are questions that I got from dream bosses in 2020. So let's have a look at them. The first one was, how do we build our team for the long run while the world around us changes by the minute? Right? That's a pretty good question to ask. How do we support, motivate, and help each other grow so that the business grows, right? And this is where I come in and say, yes, because people challenges are going to be business challenges, right? If you cannot take care of the people that are in your team, then how can you expect that you're going to get the results that you need for the business? How do we scale our team and bring the right people who are aligned with the culture, values, goals, and existing team to grow the business through uncertainty? How do we feel less anxiety and stress? Ah, that's a very good one. And this we're going to talk about in the self-care bit. How do we bring in more diversity and creativity to build innovative solutions for customers and grow the business? Why do we need to do that? Because we still have customers that we need to take care of. It's just that the environment and the reality around us changed. So this is why we need innovation and creativity, because we need a different kind of solution so that we're still able to help our clients, right? So that's crucial. And then my question on top of that is, who is taking care of you and how? And really take this question seriously, because if you, especially if you are not managing just yourself, but you're also managing a team. Now, it doesn't matter how big or small that team is, you're still managing people. You're managing the team. You also have a boss, and you're managing them and their expectations and the results that you need to get. You're managing your business if you have the business, or you're managing how your team works in a larger organization context. So you're managing all of this. At home, you're managing your own. I am so sorry for this. It's upstairs. They are doing houseworks. And the funny thing is, whenever I have a live webinar, this happens. So I'm going to try and put myself on mute next time. I wasn't quick enough this time. So the challenge isn't working from home. So you have to manage that as well, by the way, right? And you're managing your team family. So who's taking care of you? So first of all, it should be you. And second of all, you should have a network of support to help you with that. And you should also know the steps in which you can take care of yourself, right? So we're going to address that in a minute. But first, I wanted to start with this, with some ways in which you can take control over your emotions, over your actions and results in 2021 and beyond. And these are the top skills to train for. Now, and that is just like going to the gym. I love talking about. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I never reach the mute button when I have to. Um, okay, I hope it stops. Okay, so the top skills to train for, it's just like the body muscles, right? I love to call them skills muscles because that's what they need. We need to be able to train them properly and regularly so that they show up, because you can't expect that you go to the gym once or twice a year and then you're fit, right? We don't expect that. I don't know why we expect that with when we talk about skills development and professional development, because here's where I'm going to say that if anybody tells you here are the top 5 skills that are in high demand and that's that, well, that is a myth. And here's why. Because I can give you these top 5 skills and say, yeah, adaptability is one, people management is the second one, change management, that's of course. right? Especially right now. Time and project management and business mindset. So these are the skills, top five. You just learn these, you master these, and you're good to go. But guess what? First of all, there's a whole journey from learning a skill to mastering a skill. That's one thing. The other is under these so called just five skills, you have a range of so many other skills. Like for adaptability, I'm naming three, and there might be more, and I would love to hear from you on that. Emotional intelligence is the first one, and I'm going to show you why. Self care, creativity. For people management, you also have communication, which in turn also has so many other areas that we can be talking about. Teamwork and collaboration. So, really, when I talk about the top five skills in high demand, they're never just five, and they will never show overnight. Again, go back to thinking you go to the gym and you work your muscles. Are they going to show up very well defined after just one or two workouts? I don't think so. It has to be consistent, regular work so that you are able to see the results in time. We have to ditch expecting results yesterday because it does not work like that. And if we do that, we expect results yesterday. But the thing is, the results that we wanted to have yesterday might not work today and definitely will not work tomorrow. So that's where adaptability comes in. So here it is. I have a module, an e-learning module that's called Critical Skills for Game-Changing Leaders. And it addresses all of these so-called just five skills. They're never just five. And look at what the courses and the course modules are all about. When you look at this, you see that actually, when we talk about skills, we talk about much more than that. And we talk about investing in developing ourselves and investing not just financially, because I'm not just talking about that, but from a mindset perspective, from a psychological perspective. What do I want? Where do I want to go? And what help do I need to get me there? So that's why I'm saying this just five skills, you master those, that's fine. It does not work this way. So, because I mentioned all of the modules, I just want to show you what each of them addresses so you understand why I insist on saying whenever you talk about skills development, it's not just one, two, three. Oh, I want my team to communicate better. What does that mean? How did you discover the issue? Where are they bad at communicating? And what does that mean to you? What does that mean? Does it mean they don't support each other? Does it mean they don't talk to each other? Does that mean that they don't get results together, that they don't understand each other, that they cannot have a disagreement without the disagreement getting into a conflict? What does better communication mean when you say, I need my team to communicate better? And it can be a range of things, but this is why I wanted to show you, right? When you talk about skills, you're talking about a whole lot more. And you're talking about a longer period of time. It's not going to show up right away. And the reason why emotional intelligence is so important, and why I say whenever you're looking at professional and personal development, that's where you start. So if you have a question about where do I need to start so that I know I'm on my way to developing my dream career, my dream team, my dream business, this is where you start. Because here's why I love this quote, first of all. And now think about the great leaders or managers that you know, what that means to them. And think about how good they were on an emotionally intelligent level. Because, yes, a lack of emotional intelligence is what limits some people in their ability to manage themselves, manage others, and manage situations. This is what emotional intelligence is all about. And if you're not convinced, I'm going to convince you now. So, but again, I don't want to convince you. I just want to share with you why I think this is so important. Also, because we hear so many people talking about it, and we don't always know what it refers to and what that means and why it is important. Okay, emotional intelligence, but what does it actually mean? And how do I actually learn it? It's 100% learnable. This is a skill that we can all learn and we can develop continuously. But why it's important is because, according to this study by the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development in the UK, nearly as much as 80, not 18, right? 80% of the reasons why careers are derailed can be traced to weaknesses in emotional intelligence. And here is the connection with career failure. There are three primary causes. One, poor interpersonal skills, people who are not good team players and who have difficulties in handling change. Now, if you look at all of these, you will remember the top 5 skills that we said already. That's a myth. And talking about adaptability and people management and change management, here you go. Now, because we talked about career failure, I cannot leave you like that because it's not that bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying there's somewhere we can start and there's something that we can do about it. So here are the 3 predictors of career success: dealing with a diverse range of issues, managing emotions, and managing social skills. And that, my friends, is all about emotional intelligence. And I'm going to give you a snippet of why I'm saying that. Because really, when you talk about emotional intelligence, you talk about the fact that it all starts with ourselves. So, and I do talk about it extensively in my emotional intelligence course, and I have a lot of exercises that you can do to work on each of these. But really, it starts with self-awareness and noticing what makes me happy about things that happen in my environment. When am I happy about a situation? How do I react to it? When am I not happy? When am I getting frustrated or anxious or overwhelmed or angry with a situation? And what is my response to that? What is my reaction? It all starts there with noticing what my triggers are. And here's why: because once I'm becoming self-aware, it's like I'm taking this veil out of my eyes and I can see better. And then I can manage my emotions, my reactions, and my actions, because I will know, okay, so in this situation, when I got angry, I didn't like my reaction. So I want to change it. So how can I change it? How can I change my behavior the next time I'm in a similar situation, so that I don't have the same automatic response to that situation? So I get to manage the situation and manage myself and my reaction to the situation rather than letting the situation manage me. That's where it all starts. That is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence has the framework starts here with self-awareness, number 1, self-management, number 2. And then we go on the interpersonal side, on the social side, and we look at social awareness. And why am I saying that it starts from ourselves is because the minute I'm self-aware, that's when I can be socially aware too. That's when I look at my team or the people that I work with and understand, mhm, that might be frustrating for them as well. This is why they react like this, because now I know how I react and I know how I wish I reacted to make things better. And then I can understand, I can notice, and I can understand what their reactions are, how they might be feeling in a particular situation. What do we need to talk about? And I'm going to be more capable of having those important conversations where we don't blame each other, but we're looking to get solutions that work for both of us. And with social awareness, that's when I can develop empathy. Um, and then that is what allows me to manage my relationships as well. Because the minute I'm self aware, I'm also getting more socially aware. And that's when I can manage my relationships, right? Because I know how they might be thinking or feeling about a situation or another. And I address that rather than ignore it and let those frustrations pile up. And that's when it also connects with self-management, right? Because the moment I'm able to manage my own reactions and my own emotions, I will be able to manage my relationships better. You want better relationships, by the way, at work and at home, because emotional intelligence is something that once we've developed it, we're taking it with us everywhere we go. Like all of the personal skills development is going to definitely benefit us both in the professional and personal worlds. So I can talk about this all day, but this is why I'm saying that emotional intelligence is super important. And that's where you need to start so that you can take care of yourself better. So then you can also take care of other people that you're managing better. And now, because we talked about self care, I want you to think about what are some self care strategies that you're using right now. Just, and I've talked to a lot of people who maybe didn't have that many routines and habits and strategies in place before the pandemic hit us. And now they do because they discovered why those are important. And it really starts from the fact that you can't pour from an empty cup and you need to take care of yourself first, right? It's like the oxygen mask on an airplane. You need to put it on yourself first so that you can help everyone else around you. It's the same thing. And I want to draw a comparison here with high performing athletes. And that's a lesson I learned from my times of running half marathons. By the way, that's me in the picture. It's the Bucharest half marathon. I think it was 2013. I'm not running half marathons anymore because my knees gave up, but I do love to run. And what I also discovered is once a runner, always a runner. But I also learned that we, as people who work, no matter what kind of work you do, if you care about it, if you care about your career, your business, your team, you can think about yourself as a high performing athlete. Because really, when we talk about high performance, we refer to a cycle. There's a whole cycle of high performance. It's not just the performance itself. It's first of all preparation, second performance, third recovery. And when we look at these three, we also look at all of them From all of these three perspectives, emotional, physical, and mental, preparation, performance, and recovery. And I think now that you have that image, and think about your preferred athlete. It doesn't matter what sport they're in, but think about what it takes for them to perform at high levels. And think about it this way. You have an athlete who participates in the Olympics, right? Now, the Olympics, they're not every day, they're every 4 years. But that athlete does not start to prepare to perform at high levels at the Olympics a week before or a month before, right? Because they cannot really expect to get great results if they just prepare the week or the month before. So what they do is they actually prepare for the whole 4 years up to the moment when they participate in the Olympics. And then the Olympics actually lasts for 2 weeks, right? So during those 2 weeks, it's also crucial for that high performing athlete to know how they can prepare and how they can recover. Because if they're going to be in different kinds of races and competitions for the whole of 2 weeks, they need to know how to prepare from one day to the next or from one race to the next so that they can perform at high levels. Maybe today I didn't have a great day. Maybe it wasn't, I didn't get the result that I expected because I wasn't in my best shape. But I need to know what I can do to prepare and recover for the next time that I participate in a race or in a competition, because that's also another chance for me to win or for me to get the result that I want to get. So I need to have routines in place that I know I can use that are going to help me perform. That's why I'm saying that the whole high performance cycle is not just about the performance. It's actually very little, like if you look at it from a time perspective, the performance occupies the least of your time. It's the preparation and recovery that take more for that performance. And you can, when you say performance, think about productivity as well, right? Because that's when we're 100% productive. When we are super high performing, the point is we cannot be participating in the Olympics 100% of our time because we would die. Right? We're not, as even a high performing athlete, you don't participate in the Olympics every day of their life. They prepare, they learn to recover, but they don't participate every day. They're not 100 or 150% productive every single day, every single hour of their work. So think about it this way. And more than that, if you manage people in teams, you need to think about your people in your team as high performing athletes as well. They might be having good days and bad days. The point is of the whole cycle that you know what to do during the bad days so that you get up on your feet and have a great day the next day. So here are some laws of self-care for high performance that I wanted to share with you. And by the way, if you have any extra ones, I'm looking forward to hearing from you. So the first one is that you don't participate in the Olympics 100% of the time, right? It's, you have to have your time to prepare and recover so that you're 100% productive when you do. Second, you need to take care of yourself before you can also take care of your team. And that is important. And I'm going to give you some strategies of self-care. The way in which you deal with yourself is going to have a direct impact on how you deal with others. And that goes back to what I was just mentioning about emotional intelligence. That's when emotional intelligence steps in and helps you manage your reactions and emotions so that you can manage your relationships with others better. Structured and consistent work on yourself, that's what means that you can understand how you can help your team and your business or organization grow on a longer term, right? So you don't crash after a week, a month, or a year. Long-term high performance includes preparation and recovery. So when you think about, again, think about high performance as this whole cycle, because that is helpful long-term. Preparation means prevention. So leaders, managers, organizations, and businesses that address this, that address self-care, that know how to work with their teams differently than before, will reap the results. If they don't start addressing that, that's going to be an issue, and it's going to be an issue soon. People challenges are business challenges. And that connects with number 6, because think about it. When everyone is in burnout, when everyone has run out of health and time, then who will be left to do the work or run the business? That everything that happens to the team is going to have an impact on the results. So that's where we discuss about the power of habit and about why we need to have routines in place that help us on the good days and especially on the bad days. So here are some self-care strategies that you can implement. And here's the thing, they need to be daily routines, because that's exactly what we were saying. They need to be regular. It needs to be some kind of consistent work on your part so that you can expect some results in time. So when we talk about daily routines, we talk about morning, day, and evening routines. And I'm going to give you a couple of ideas that you can work on or with and see how well they work for you, what you want to keep, what you want to ditch, and in the end, have a consistent routine. So in the morning, you can use, if you don't already, meditate or read or listen to something inspiring. It can be anything, like something inspiring, not something that will frustrate you further. Journaling or recording your ideas, your thoughts, that also helps. And that's also a good way in which you can measure progress, right? Because you look at, oh, this is what I was journaling last month. And in the meantime, things have progressed, and look at where I am today. Exercise, definitely, and you know that already. It's not going to be a surprise to you, right? Any kind of exercise. You can decide yoga, running, workout, walking, biking, whatever it is, but do it at least 5 days a week. It helps, it boosts your creativity, it relaxes you, it helps you be a little bit less stressed or frustrated, right? But also, really, really, I think this is most important for when we talk about coming up with new innovative ideas. That's what you want. You will, like, I get a lot of ideas as I run or I walk. You can share your experience in getting ideas, but whenever we take our mind off the topic that we're really focusing on, that's when sometimes we get some of the best ideas ever. And power poses. Now, for power poses, I also have a TED talk that I will be sharing with you. It's Amy Cuddy's TED talk on how our body language helps our mindset. So that's an interesting one. If you haven't watched it, watch it. I absolutely recommend it. But what power poses do is they literally take you from one perspective to the next. Now you can think about yourself when you're sad, and generally when people are sad, we're looking down and we're like dragging down like that, and there's super low energy, almost no energy at all. And we do this. Now, what a power pose would do, if you do, for instance, the superhero power pose, which is this, and you've seen it so many times, what this power pose does is it literally changes perspective, because you're looking from here, you're going to look up and you're going to see something different. And it's also a different energy level right? From here to here, right? Chin up, you're looking up, you have more energy, you're dragging all of your body up, you're picking yourself up. So, whenever you need a shift in energy or perspective, try some power poses. Um, Take 5 and just appreciate yourself and what you did that day. We're so focused on things that don't work or on things that we wish worked better that we forget to notice the things that we've done well and the progress that we've made. So just take 5, do a power pose, and do breathing exercises. And I'm actually going to share in the description of this video, I will share the links to breathing exercises. They help you relax, and they also help you change your level of energy. And in the evening, 5 things that were great that day. Again, recall them, journal them, record them. It's again, it helps with measuring progress too, apart from the fact that you're focusing your mind on something that you accomplished and that you achieved and you were good at. Listen to a meditation or read. In any case, get off your device an hour before bed. First of all, because of the blue light that doesn't let us get into that relaxing state that we need for quality sleep. And also because when you're like that on your mobile and scrolling down, that's when adrenaline and dopamine levels rise, and we're getting that excitement state instead of getting into the relaxation state that we need for getting quality sleep. You want to think about it. You're a high performing athlete. You need to sleep well so that you're able to recover, so that you're able to perform. That's, again, that's where you start. Really, emotional intelligence and sleep. You start with these two, then you can move on. So, my call to action for your routines is choose your morning, day, and evening routine. And what you're going to do is schedule that in your calendar, right? As you have your work activities, you schedule your routines because they're strictly related to what you need to do for work. They're strictly related with your level of performance and productivity. So absolutely schedule them in your calendar. And that way you're making that possible. Why? Because you're scheduling it depending on what's possible. If I know I have a super early call or meeting at 8 a.m. and I'm not going to have time to do any kind of exercise until then I can schedule my exercise after that meeting. And it doesn't have to be a full hour each day. You can have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on what's possible for you. But rather do and work with what's possible than not work with it at all and making it impossible. And then you start with a 30-day practice and you monitor during the 30 days what works and what doesn't work and needs to be changed. And then for the next 30 days, you're going to embed those changes and see how those work. And you allocate 90 days for this whole process to take place so that you feel comfortable and happy with it, and so that you can also see some results. Because what we're talking about really is integrating change in habits. They say it takes 21 days to form a new habit, and that may be true, but also the next reality is that it takes more than that to integrate it into your schedule, to integrate that change. So, and it's going to be, the first 30 days are going to be hard, and the next 30 days are going to be messy. Because does this really work? Oh my God, this is painful. Oh, I really don't feel like it. I'm not seeing any results. I mean, really, what am I doing? Who am I kidding? And then the next 30 days are going to be beautiful because I'm actually getting to experience the results and see, actually, you know what? I feel better. I feel better about myself, first of all, about what I do for myself. I feel better about taking that time for myself. And that, by the way, helps with developing emotional intelligence because I become more self aware, looking at what works and doesn't work for me from a simple exercise like this. It develops my emotional intelligence as well because I will start noticing things that I would not focus on before. So if this is the one thing that you do after watching this webinar, hats off to you. I'm, I'm telling you, you're going to be happier. So I will be sharing these free resources for self-care and crisis management in the description after we finish the live. In the meantime, again, I would love to hear your thoughts and comments at any point because we are now looking, and this is the last part of this webinar when we look at building, engaging, and motivating your dream team. And I say the last part because it's connected with the surprise that I have for you at the end. So when we talk about your dream team, and now think about, you've thought about high performing athletes that you love. Now think about dream teams. And again, it doesn't matter the sport, but when you think about dream teams, you really think about team leadership and the kind of power that team leadership means on the long run, and also for getting the results that you're after. So this is what we're talking about. We're not talking about the past way of working where you're getting leaders that are isolated at the top. When you're managing people and teams, that doesn't mean you're suddenly not part of the team anymore. It does not work like that anymore. So don't isolate, and especially now, what I'm hearing from people who manage other people and teams is that they feel so alone and so isolated because, like, if you have an issue, if you have a problem, you don't know how to solve it, who do you go to, who do you chat with? You can't go to your team, you can't go to your boss because they have their own challenges and frustrations and issues. You can't go to your partner at home because they have their own challenges and issues. So who do you have? You can discuss with your team, but only as much as you can, because there are some things that maybe you can't discuss with them yet. So when we talk about the new future of work, we're actually talking about a different kind of managing people and teams and doing things differently so that we can get and expect different results. And here's a study from WeWork on the impact of work from home. And they discovered, so 90% of the people who they interviewed said that they wanted to return to the office at least one day per week. Now, out of those people, 20% said that they want to return 5 days a week. Think about it. That's a lot. And that also tells you how different we are and how our work styles are different from one another, right? Some people just need one day a week. There's also 10% of those people who maybe didn't respond or who didn't even need that one day a week. They're very happy working from home. But you have this other 20% that says, I want back 5 days a week. So what do you do about that? And some of the answers in that study were that long-term businesses' success relies on creativity and innovation that come from productive collaboration. So that is a thing. That's a big one. And it goes back to what we were saying about the skills and about adaptability and people management. You will see it in here because we talked about those. And again, we can't expect that we learn these skills overnight. and that they're going to work overnight. It's like with the self-care routines, we have to allow them time to actually work, and we have to be able to tweak and make changes on those things that don't work. Teams need the flexibility for collaborative work, and companies need to rethink in-person interactions and prioritize health to allow for culture building. And when we talk about health, we talk about physical and mental health. They're not separate. And when we talk about culture building, we talk about the way we work together, because culture is created by people. Culture without the people in it does not exist, right? Culture is how we work together around here, how we do things around here so that we're successful. That's the culture. So you're building the culture every day that you show up at work. So here are some ideas for productive collaboration. And I really am a firm believer in team communication and in the fact that in teamwork, silence isn't golden, it's deadly. Because teams who are not able to discuss challenges, to laugh together, to even cry together sometimes, that is not communication. That's not a team, that's just a group of people working together. So, and when we talk about communication, I want to talk about formal and informal communication. Because I really believe that in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. If you can have fun together when you're working with your team, something's going to be missing there. Because when we're having fun together, we're also vulnerable with each other and we open up more. And that means that we can trust each other better. So, looking at formal ways of communicating, and I know that you're doing some of this stuff already, what I wanted to say here is virtual meetings have taken over so much. Almost all of the meetings are video meetings. And now you have to also give phone calls and conference calls a second chance, because they might really make the difference between somebody being able to participate or not. I mean, think about talking about flexibility. You want people to join the conversation early in the morning because you have a meeting, and they might be on their way back from just taking their kid to school. And they might not have a great internet connection to jump in on a video call, but they do have their phone with them, and they're able to take a phone conversation because they also have the headset on. You really don't want them to be on a video call as they're driving, right? So really give phone calls another chance, because I think, and you know that there is the Zoom fatigue and exhaustion is real. You have to really allow people to move, and especially for people who are more kinesthetic communicators and learners, so people who need to move to think and who love to move when they talk, that's crucial, because you need to allow them for that space to, move around with their phone and have a conversation and come up with ideas. So don't make everything video, because you risk exhaustion. And then for informal communication, really right now, the world is your oyster, and you can do anything from virtual lunches and coffees and parties to group chats that are informal, right? On WhatsApp or you name it, right? Also phone calls or virtual working sessions. You can meet as a team and work together. You can connect on Zoom, but that doesn't mean you're just going to stay there and look at each other. You do your work as you're working with people on the other side of the screen. And what that does is, first, if I have a question to anybody on the team, like, where did we save the document that we need to work on for this client? I'm going to get an answer to my question very quickly, because there's somebody else on the other side of the screen working with me on the same project and knowing what I'm asking. That also gets you out of isolation as you're working with people. It's like sharing the office space, but now you're sharing the virtual space, right? So I might just say, you know what, I'm gonna go grab myself a coffee. Who wants one? And I'm not gonna be able to bring you a coffee, but what you can do is also go and get your own coffee or tea or water, whatever it is. And we're having a coffee together, even if we're not in the same physical space. You can also share photos or recipes or solutions that people come up with. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of people who are also parents and who have kids who are learning from home online. So they need to figure out some solutions so that they can work and accommodate their kids' needs whenever they need something from their parents. So sharing this kind of, oh, this is what I found, this is what I do, and it's helpful. Maybe you can try it. I find that sharing solutions that people creatively come up with is super helpful because and it also engages other people in the conversation, and it boosts creativity and also a sense of belonging, which creates more motivation in turn. So think about what you're doing for your team or the people that you manage, or what you can do if you're not a people or team manager. What can you do to maybe implement some of these ideas in your team? Again, we're talking about team leadership. And we're also talking about team resourcing. And when I say that, is just knowing who is good at what, understanding what people can contribute with, understanding that we work differently, that we have different working styles, different personality styles, different needs and triggers for motivation and engagement. And that is good. So whenever we talk about working styles, there's these questions that we can look at and answer. Um, and these are the questions that if you work on a team, and especially if you manage a team right now, these are important questions for you to look at and try to answer. And actually, what we have in place as tools that can help us answer some of these questions are we have so many personality um, tools that we can use. So we have the DISC, the social drivers, Belbin team roles, MBTI personality styles. They all measure personality. What we also have, and this is where I said that we were going to talk about the GC index a little bit, because that means the game changing index. And what it does is it measures the impact that people and teams have on the business. So that is different from personality. And you're going to see why. Because when we talk about impact, we talk about the ways in which we feel most engaged and energized when it comes to making an impact upon our world, right? And what that means is that we can be somebody who naturally puts energy into creating original ideas. Those are the game changers. Or people who make sense of those ideas, the strategists. People who make those ideas happen, the implementers. People who make ideas brilliant, the polishers. And then people who help everyone work together, and those are the playmakers. Now, you can think about this is what this tool measures the levels in which we have one kind of impact or another when we work together in a team. And what I wanted to show you here, again, this is something that I can talk about all day. And if you're interested in taking this assessment, I can promise you that it's super helpful if you're looking at saying, whether you're in the right place right now or understanding how you work and how might your team be working. So, and what would be some of your motivation and engagement triggers and what might be theirs. This helps you solve the impact puzzle and the engagement motivation puzzle so well. This is what Nike did when they used the GC index for their team, because their maxim number one was, it is our nature to innovate. So when you look at this, is you see that the game changers and the strategists, they're idea focused, right? And then the implementers and the polishers, they're more task focused. So it was easy for people who are game changers or strategists on the Nike team to really resonate with the fact that it is the company's nature to innovate. But what do you do to keep the implementers and polishers engaged and motivated, or the playmakers, right? Because they were right in the middle of things. What do you do to help them get some motivation and resonate with that same nature to innovate? And looking at what kind of impact they were making and how they were helping the business perform at high levels, that actually helped them understand how they were making a contribution. And here's the thing, when people understand how they're making a contribution and understand that their contribution is valued, that's when they feel heard and understood, and that's when they feel motivated and engaged. You cannot motivate and engage them. You need to help them feel motivated and engaged. So, that said, what you need to do as a team manager or people manager, first of all, know your team and ask for help. And here's some of the stuff that you can ask from game changers. Ask them to come up with original ideas, creative ideas whenever you need some. Or strategists, they will help you make a plan and a strategy and sort out your priorities. The implementers, they will help you get the job done and help people understand who needs to do what and by when and also why. The polishers, they're the ones who might be looking at an existing product or service that you have right now, and they might be able to take it to the next level. And also the playmakers. The playmakers, if you're looking at doing something for your team, they're the ones who can lead team building projects. They're also the ones who spot talent naturally. So when you're putting together a team of people to work on a new project, they will be able to spot who can do what because they're better at it, because they're naturally inclined to do it. So knowing your team, understanding how you work and understanding how they work so that you can work together better. That's it's doable. You have to start somewhere. So if you're asking me, start with the game changing index, start with the game changing index for yourself. And then you can do it for the team as well. And that will help you make business decisions that are that rely on clear data. So, what I can say about motivating your dream team is, again, we talk about you helping them get motivated and engaged. So, you have to know what your individual role and impact is. You have to understand what are the triggers for motivation and engagement, because that will also reduce burnout, frustration, losing great team members. And we all know the cost of a bad hire for the team, but we also know the cost of somebody great in the team leaving the team. And I'm not talking just about financial costs, I'm also talking about psychological costs. Um, and as a team manager, it's so important that you accommodate styles as you work together. But again, unless I know what my style is and what my strengths are and what my best impact is, I'm not going to be able to fully understand what others people contribution can be. So ask for help and focus on purpose and communicate this purpose, because this increases collaboration and it does maximize individual and team potential. Because if I know where I'm going, I can come up with ideas that might be getting all of us there faster or better. Um, I know what to think about so I can contribute. Okay. What about your motivation and engagement? Well, I said a lot, but definitely start with yourself, start with emotional intelligence, and get yourself out of isolation. You need to find your tribe. I mean, you work with your team, you work with your boss, you work with your clients, but keep yourself connected with people, not just from your company, not just from your industry, not just from your country, but from everywhere, because that's how you learn. And that is what is going to help you develop your career or business to the next level and help you grow as an individual and as a professional. So brainstorm, ask for help, talk to like-minded people. It's important for you also to get yourself out of this feeling of isolation and, hey, who helps me and where can I get help? To share challenges as well as successes. And that's where the power of community lies, in the fact that we get a space that where we feel heard without feeling judged, without people thinking, oh, they don't know the solution. What do they want me to do? What do they want from me? Or why are they saying this to me? I have my own problems. So, time to answer my question: who is taking care of you and how? Okay, so there's a lot of noises that I'm sure you're hearing as well. So bear with me because we have 5 minutes left, I promise you. Okay, I have this great news for you. I created a league for people who want to get out of isolation, people who want to grow, who want to learn, and also connect, and also discuss and brainstorm and get some coaching and ideas and answers to their questions, more answers than problems. So this is going to be a global community with people from all over the world, um, for continuous learning and support. So again, think of yourself as this high performing athlete. It's important to know, first of all, the techniques. If you want to be a better people and teams manager, you have to know some technical stuff. So you're getting a lot of online courses in leadership and sales and customer service. It's 250 plus. And also that power of community and brainstorming and connecting with peers, right? With people who might be having the same problems or different problems, and you might have a solution for them or they might have a solution for you. And who knows, you might be helping each other's grow the business. So it's everything in one place. You're getting guest speakers and also speaking opportunities for those of you who are interested in speaking. Um, so what I'm offering, and by the way, this is a special offer before November 16. We start next week, right? It's for, and if you join before November 16, you're going to be a founding member, and you're going to have absolutely, you're not going to believe the offer. So talk to me after this, drop me a message, and I will send you the full special offer, and I'm sure that you'll want to take it. It's so helpful. It helps you grow yourself and it helps you grow your team. So for option one, you're getting the full package of all of the 8 course modules that I was talking to you about before. And the good thing about it is you're getting a 1-year access, so you don't have to do them right away, right? You have access to them the whole year, and we discuss your questions and challenges as you go through them in the group. Whatever you do, you're getting the free time management course. So that's awesome. You're getting the individual assessment, the GC Index individual assessment, and a strategy session individually with me, and special discounts to all of the rest of the course modules and assessments that I can offer. And you're getting weekly league meetings. You're getting a lot of information on self-care, a lot of events and coaching and brainstorming and networking. You'll have access to library materials and you're going to get prizes, and you only have to pay the monthly group membership. Now for option two, it's basically the same thing, just that you're going to get 3 courses. And actually, it's going to be emotional intelligence, free time management, and another course of your choice. Now, if you feel you need anything else, absolutely, we can talk about it, no problem. It's you can pick and choose depending on what your needs are, right? So that said, you have these wonderful 2 options with my comment that we can still pick and choose the online courses depending on what you need. So, but the rest is pretty much the same. So you're getting the assessment, you're getting the discounts, and you're getting super special prices right now for joining before November 16. After November 16, prices will go up for new members. And the great thing about it is that if you bring a friend, you're getting 50% discount right now until the 16th of November, 50% discount to your membership cost. So I'm looking for your questions and comments as I run some of the client feedback that I got from other people that I helped either with their teams or with their management and leadership skills. Um, it was also an absolute pleasure to work with people and help them understand how they were making an impact in their team and in their business, and their feedback on what they got from just the GC index profile and the strategy and assessment session. That was extraordinary, and it really shed a light on how they can work best and get the best results for themselves, for the team, for the business and the organization. You can also see the power of it when you recruit new people, especially useful when you scale. If you have a small business or you want to bring more people on the team, that's a very useful tool. So let me know what some of the questions are. You can definitely contact me. So for this, if you're interested in finding out more about the league, what are the best options for you? Let's discuss them, right? The door is open. I really promise you don't want to miss this. Or if you have anyone in your network that might be interested in this, definitely share with them and let them know where they can book a meeting or just email me. That's my email address. And I'm making this really available and affordable for you. I don't want it to be, I know I worked in corporate learning and development. I know how expensive that was. And I know that the return on investment for attending one course twice or 3 times a year was very low. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being able to support you throughout your learning journey, whatever your needs may be. You're getting the community, you're getting the support, you get yourself out of isolation, and you learn a bunch of stuff for a wonderful price. I'm telling you. Okay, so that's it for today. Continue the conversation offline. I will put these links in the description of this video. Connect with me, talk to me, and let's start building your dream. We start on November 16th. Thank you so much for being here with me today.